Tonight, WECT investigates how a device meant to keep animals away is now driving a push for a new ordinance in Leland.
Neighbors in one community say an animal deterrent device is traumatizing their pets. WECT's Connor Smith has spent weeks looking into this. Connor, what exactly is this device and how is it impacting the neighborhood?
Well, Fran, neighbors say it's like a dog whistle, making an ultrasonic sound that only animals can hear. The issue, though, is that any pet that goes near it refuses to get close again. So that's turned a battle between neighbors into a push for town leaders to do something about it. Just like any other dog, Cheryl Peacock's dog Zeus loves days like these.
And we enjoy walking the neighborhood. We walk the neighborhood every day, twice a day.
But that changed a few weeks ago after Peacock's neighbor in Leland put this device in her front yard. Peacock calls it an animal deterrent device, similar to a dog whistle. Neighbors say they could hear a high-pitched clicking noise coming from it.
It's not a safe device and should not be allowed.
This was her dog's reaction after hearing it last month.
This is never an issue. We walk in this neighborhood all the time. He doesn't want to anymore.
He didn't want to come out of the house, and he certainly didn't want to walk by the house. So it became very apparent something was going on.
And he wasn't the only one.
Come on. Beamer, come on.
Another neighbor shared this video with us. His dog Beamer had the same reaction. Scared, confused, tail between the legs. Neighbors decided they had to do something.
And it's wreaked havoc throughout our community.
Jean Fredette oversees the HOA in the Colbert Place Drive neighborhood. She researched the issue, finding Leland does not have a law against high-frequency devices.
We would just like to see them ban it because it's basically torture of animals.
Earlier this month, Fredette emailed town leaders asking for a new ordinance. A town spokesperson says staff are looking into the issue, but are not crafting a new ordinance yet. In the meantime, the device got moved inside earlier this month. Peacock and Zeus hope it stays there.
We can't enjoy our neighborhood. And walking our dogs is something that I feel like we should be able to do without issue.
Neighbors hope resolving this issue now means it won't impact another neighborhood down the road. And in an email, the neighbor accused of putting that device up declined to comment for our story. We will keep you updated if town leaders make a decision on a possible ordinance. Connor Smith, WECT News.